live on the stream. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Discord? Alrighty. Alright. Alright, guys, we should all be good. You guys can hear me all right. Can you guys hear me? Let me know either by unmuting or let's use this chat as well. The Crypto Talks chat. Can you guys hear me? Type a 111 in the chat or say something just so then we know everything's good here and we are good to get started.
Yes, we can hear you, Trevor.
Okay, perfect.
You're good to go.
Thank you. All right, so guys, basically tonight, what we're going to be going over is, the foundation and the basics to NFTs. My Discord's reloading here, so I don't know. Am I back?
Hey, you're back. You went straight digital for a second there, but you're good now.
All right, dope. So, yeah, so basically what this call here is all about, this is for all you guys, right? We want to do a weekly educational call here inside of the Rough Life Rescues Discord and just provide value when it comes down to, getting started in this space, investing, getting your money to work for you. And the topic for tonight is really, focus into NFTs, right? How to really get yourself started, but get yourself started in the right way where you understand the things to look out for, what makes a good project, the expectation behind it, and how you can actually, make some serious money from the NFT space, because there's a lot of money involved. It's a great opportunity today to start, making some moves and getting educated on this space, right? But we want to do it in a way where we're doing it securely and we're doing it in a way where we come on top being profitable, right? Because there's also a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of rug pulls. There's a lot of little things that I want to make sure you guys are well aware of, so you don't have to go through as many errors that maybe possibly I had to go through or other people had to go through, and you can learn from, other people's mistakes versus making them yourself, right? But one thing I will guarantee is you're going to make some mistakes from time to time, and that's okay, right? But we want to limit them as much as possible. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to go over a few things. I apologize ahead of time because I know it's going to be a little laggy, and I have some times where we got to be a little bit slow because, my computer can only compute so much, right? It's streaming on the streaming service, it's on the Discord, and it's on YouTube, right? So it's running multiple things, and I'm going to be running the browser as well. But let's dive into it. So the first real topic that we start with every conversation is understanding, step number one, which is your own crypto wallet and crypto security, right? And I know for some people this might be redundant and you've heard it many times and stuff like that. We're going to be more so focusing in Solana NFTs, right? Because, there are NFTs on Ethereum, there's NFTs on Cardano, Binance, on all these different chains, right? But we're going to focus in this one avenue. I believe, one is more than enough. I personally love Solana because, for one, I see the development and the growth that's happening inside of here, and, the technology is amazing. I see it as well, being an early mover advantage, maybe, a little bit more, like early moving compared to ETH, right? I feel like a lot more money's starting to pour into this space as well. So it's like we want to position ourselves and be a part of that. And the other thing too, it's a lower barrier of entry, right? If you're just getting started, you're not spending, $500 on an NFT plus another $300 on gas fees, right? That goes to thin air, right? Where Where here, your first NFT, you can get started with, a couple $100 or $100 to get in the door, right? And there's no other fees on top of that, right? The gas fee is fractions of pennies actually. So it's like you're not worried about this other calculation to account for your cost. Plus, when you sell it too, you're not also getting charged a big fee to sell it, right? So I love Solana for that. For us, I personally like using the Phantom wallet. It's just personal preference. There's other Solana-based wallets out there. It's not as friendly for mobile devices. Yes, there are some options for mobile, but like with crypto, like with anything, guys, ideally you don't want any crypto or any assets on your phone, because your phones, they're mobile. They go everywhere with you. They connect to random Wi-Fi's all the time. It can easily be SIM swapped. It can be spoofed. It can get hacked, right? And the last thing we want is your stuff that you're working hard here today to get taken away from you, right? So, you might build something really big, and I've had friends, even get their Coinbase accounts because they have their money in Coinbase, and their phone just glitched out for like 5 minutes, and it's just like glitched, and the next thing you know, all their stuff was gone. And Buddy saved his private keys and his notes on his phone, and his MetaMask was also compromised, right? Because he saved it in the notes of his phone, right? So don't do any of that, guys. We want to use, one of these wallets. It's a browser-based wallet. It's quite secure, right? But there are a couple things, and I'll go over a couple of the security side of things, because just to really make sure you're looking out for, because I want to make sure you guys are really safe in here, and that doesn't have to go. You don't have to go down that hard route where your wallet gets compromised, your money gets lost, because ultimately, guys, blockchain technology is one of the safest technologies out there. The security is amazing, right? And it's in your control, right? So when you add this into your Chrome and you set it up, right, there's going to be this phrase that you got to write down. You don't want to save it into the cloud, guys, or take a picture of it. You want to write it down on a hard piece of paper, maybe make 2 copies. I have one for my mom, like just, in case I lose something or something bad was to happen to me, right? My mom has a copy, right? And I have a copy, right? So that's it, and you don't want to make it publicized and shared to anyone else, right? So those are the private keys that you have. The other thing to look out for, and this is the last thing I will talk about on this subject, is, people always ask, they're like, fuck, I get all these weird coins popping up in my wallet, right? Because here's what happens, like your address, it's a public address, right? It gets sent around, it's on the blockchain, right? People can see it, right? So people will send you these spoof coins, and they're hoping that you'll like try to redeem the coin, or you'll try to interact with it, and then you would sign a contract, and that contract will actually compromise your wallet. So the best thing to do is don't be just signing on any random website. Don't ever give away your private keys. Don't interact with any of those, those random coins that you randomly show up in your wallet. Don't trust them. Don't touch them. You can just hide them simply. You can just hide them. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. It's not going to hurt your wallet, right? Just don't touch it and let it be. The other thing is, when you go to mint NFTs, you're going to want to use what's called a burner wallet. A burner wallet is in here, you can just add a new wallet, right? So you would have a wallet number 2, wallet number 3, right? And in the other wallet, you'll just move the amount of money that you're planning for that mint, which is when the project launches, right? So say if the project's 2 Solana to buy the NFT, right? And you want to buy 2 of them. You're only going to put 4 Solana in there. So the worst case scenario is you only spend 4 Solana, right? And this is important because sometimes transactions fail sometimes, and you don't want to dip into the money that you weren't willing to spend. Like the first ever NFT project I got into, it was a 1.5 Solana NFT project. I had 6 Solana in there, and it kept failing transactions. I ended up clearing my whole wallet, and I bought 4 of them. I was only planning to buy 1. It worked out in my favor at the end of the day, but I was like, I wasn't wanting to put all my eggs in that one basket, right? And so you can avoid that by using a burner wallet, and it also protects you too in case if that mint ends up being a scam, right? Your whole wallet doesn't get compromised, only that burner wallet does, right? So the one Solana, the two Solana that you threw in there gets lost. It's not the end of the world. We'll make it back up, right? So those are a couple little things just like to get started with and to really understand, but don't allow that to scare you. Don't allow that to hold you back, but just make sure you just follow that process and you'll be totally safe and you'll be good, right? So that's step number one, guys. Very, very simple, but just really, really important. Now, on the next side of things, when it comes to adding money in there, stuff like that, there's step-by-step instructions in this Discord. There's step-by-step instructions in my other Discord, right, to walk you through that. And that's something you guys can do on your own. If you need help with it, reach out, ask. I'm not going to go over that for sake of time. And, you guys probably already have money in there and stuff like that. But if you need to learn that, inside the Discord, there's instructions for that. Now the next step, right, is, for me, I've been plugged into the Solana NFT space since I think I bought my first project the end of September, right? And I've been super involved, and it's been exciting because, the fact of me stepping into this space, not only did it lead to some, special gains in my pocket and open the door to, a few different avenues, it's led to also, I was able to start 2 more companies, guys. And it's crazy because, opportunities start landing on your laps. Like, I've been networking with so many different other projects. Like, it's crazy what we got behind the scenes for Rough Life. Like, there's so many different metaverses that, want to work with us and collaborate with us. And that's what's really beautiful about this space. It's a collaborative effort, right? I just got the go ahead. We're going to be in this, I guess this is some insider information, but, we're going to be in, just talking to these guys, in the Infungibles, right? So you're going to be able to put your Rough Life inside of this bot, and you can fight against other NFT projects or other roughers inside of this game, right? So that's so cool. So it's just really cool where this space is going to, and it's just yeah. So come tune in tomorrow night for the Twitter AMA because we'll share some more nuggets with you guys on there. But sorry, I wanted to go on a little tangent because it's just so exciting. I had so many cool conversations today with just people who want to collaborate, work together, and it's just beautiful how this space opens doors. So when you guys come into this space, come here for the long run, right? You're gonna want to get educated. You want to learn, right? But the most biggest value, guys, is the communities that you're a part of, right? Inside of these different Discords, the Rough Life Rescues Discord, I've seen people create such great friendships in there, right? And they go off and find other things. They do things and they find alpha on different projects. Alpha is meaning that, supreme information about it, right? It's something that maybe not everyone knows, and then, they give you the insights, right? And it's just get involved as much as you can because it'll open up doors to, many different worlds, and you never know what could come from it, right? So be open-minded, be open to opportunity, say yes to things, and just learn by doing, right? So now on this step here, guys, I want to talk about, doing your own due diligence, right? And some things to look out for in a project because there's lots of great projects out there and there's more crappy projects out there, right? There's 20 or more projects being dropped every single day, and and unfortunately not all of them are good, right? So you want to think in quality over quantity as well. Now their expectation for you guys is you're going to want to come into this space with a mindset that you're going to lose sometimes, right? Not all of them are going to winners, not all of them are going to 10x, not all of them are going to double in seconds, right? Sometimes that happens, right? But not all of them are going to be like that. And I don't want you guys to get emotionally attached to it. Remember, we're here to make money. We're not here to just hold cool art pieces. Some people are, and that's fine, right? But think of your situation. Think about where you at, right? Like, yeah, you could get it, right? But like, use your profits if you want to like hold something and just be like, hey, this is pretty and I want it, right? Versus, you know, because we're coming in here as investors first, right? So we want to come in with that mindset as an investor first, here to flip, make some dough, get the heck out, and continue to grow your pool and multiply it, right? So it's really important. But back to this understanding that, you know, not everything's going to be a winner. Understand that, because it's all about risk to reward, right? I understand the risk to reward in NFTs is actually really high, because I don't know how many projects I've been trying to mint the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get in, but they've, you know, mint prices to Solana, and now the floors are 15 or more, right? And a lot of time they did that in a day, right? Within 24 hours, you know, you're like, wow, I could literally 5x my money in literally less than 24 hours, right? So, you know, I see this all the time, right? And that is doable, but I understand that my risk to reward is I'm going to hit 5 projects, right? But out of those 5 projects, I might lose 3 or 4 of those projects where they become duds, right? Worth nothing, right? But those 2 or the 1 that wins, right? That is that solid project outweighs those losses and gives me more, right? So that's my expectation leading into this, right? And I'm going to share with you guys on how you can up that stat where maybe you actually win 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5 projects, right? Where you're more accurate, right? Because you can do that through your own due diligence, right? But unfortunately, even so, there will be times that you get that rug pulled. There is that time when, you know, the developers can't fulfill the long-term vision, or they lose desire to keep going forward, right? Maybe there's times when you could have taken profits, but you didn't, and the project went down from there, right? It's okay, right? Things like that. So let's dive into it. How RareDot is a tool more so on the Solana side, right? There's a lot of different, you know, there's many different calendar websites. Like there's a whole whack load, right? This is one of the ones that I like to look at from time to time. This is where I went for the first time to find my first project, which was the Meerkat Millionaires. And I literally just scrolled down here and I'm like, okay, is that one cool? That one's cool. And that one just stood out to me, and I clicked on it, and it just checked some of the boxes, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll give it a shot and see what happens, right? That's sort of what I looked at, and I took the gamble and I did that, right? But I'm going to share a couple things in here that, you know, can really make and break a project, right? So as we go down and through the list, right, you know, you might see something that could stand out to you, and that's personal preference, right? And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I use today is through the information through my network that I've been able to grow in here. That's where I find my next projects, usually where I go into. But I want to do it from this perspective of like really looking at a project from the beginning and to the outside. So I'm going to just look around and see, or if there's a project that you guys want to personally pick apart, if you guys want to drop that actually in the chat, let's do that actually. I think that would be more fun. If you were looking at like an upcoming mint that you're like curious about, that you're like, I'm thinking about this project but want a second opinion, please drop it in the chat. I'm not sure if you're able to drop a link in there, but you can just drop the name in there, right? And I would love to kind of like show you what I would look for and what I'm looking for when I'm looking at a project. And I'd love to pick that through. So if one of you guys can drop that in there, that would be amazing.
Not at all. Okay. Hi. Welcome to Quality.
Slow. Gotta mute Saltwater Cowboy.
Just one. means. I am. This is XY Henry.
Water Cowboy. Muting you. Boom. All right. Sorry, computer's running super slow. Did anyone drop anything in the chats? Like, or can you guys unmute and just like let me know what someone said? Because I think you guys are running faster than me.
The chat, I can't see where that is, new to this whole Discord thing, but one I've seen recently popping up is Gen Watch, Gen Watch. I think there's a version 1 and a version 2.
Okay, cool. So the biggest communities are Twitter and Discord, right? When you're looking at any NFT. So yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to use Twitter, get a Twitter account. Like, I haven't used Twitter for like years, like several years. And, I just started using it again the last 6 months here just because of NFTs, right? Discord, I never used it 6 months ago. Like, I had no clue how to use it. I was in no servers. I'm now at maxed out servers. I'm in like 50 or 100 servers now. It's like, you kind of got to figure it out. And it is a bit of that little learning curve, but it's not rocket science. It's all figure outable, but that these are the things that we use and some of the tools we use to do our due diligence and see what people are talking about. So what was it called again? Sorry, it was something watch.
Yeah, it was Gen Watch, Gen Watch V2. Just a random one-off one, but honestly, just tearing apart anything would be kind of cool just to see what you look for.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to change to Windows, bro.
I guess so. I thought wasn't Apple supposed to be the ones? It can't operate more than 2 programs at the same time. Gen Watch V2. Yeah, I'm sorry about the slowness, guys. Yeah, Dan, the chat's in the, like, you can just use the general chat because that's where I'm in, and it's going to take me forever to even go to Crypto Talks. So people are talking about this Gen Watch V2. So they really like just like a watch. Man, I'm sorry how slow the streams is. I guess I'll have to make like an actual video when I can just like record it on my own, because like then it doesn't lag and be slow, and I can mash it up and cut out like the in between time, so it's like concise in like a 30-minute call where you get all the value, all the nuggets, all the things. I do want to make a bigger version of this video, because it is really important to understand this, and many people have been asking me for a video of like, what makes a good project, what to look out for, things like that. So I definitely want to recreate this, and I will definitely recreate this, because it is really important. I can't find the actual thing, and it's super slow. Okay, we'll go look at rainbow monkeys, because I already know bot boards. We'll look at some rainbow monkeys. Yeah, honestly, I think with this speed, guys, it's not even worth it. We're gonna be here for like 30 minutes, and I don't want to waste people's time. Um, I'm more than open to have an open discussion. Like, if you guys have any questions yourselves, I'm open to just having a normal conversation. I'm open to, where I'm just not showing anything because this is just really slow. But I'm open to having like conversation, and if you guys have anything that you got a question of, because like um, I'm sure like you have a question, but I'm sure someone else has the same question too, and it could be quite valuable to have that. So feel free, because this is like I can't even find rainbow monkeys either. Oh, it's because I'm missing the S.
We can hear you, Tammy, but I don't think he can for some reason.
I guess so. That's happened before in the past where it's like, well, I heard Brandon, and I heard Jeff. I know see some of these people are. Who's trying to talk?
Was Tammy, I think.
I could hear you, Crypto Bills.
I think the one that was talking was Tammy. Tammy, double M.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I can never hear Tammy. Cause even like
He's
on
gonna
the
post in the chat. People laughing in the background.
yeah, literally in the we did an AMA once, and it was just like I couldn't hear her. All the other guys on the AMA could hear her. I'm like, wait, someone's talking? That's something on me. All right. Well, either way, we got rainbow monkeys here. So let's
Tammy,
take.
what is your question? Because I can like forward it to Trevor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, Tammy is asking about how to sell in the future. She's not planning to do that, but she would like to know how to do that on, I think she means Solsi
Cool.
or yeah, secondary markets.
Yeah. Well, we'll actually do that while we look at these rainbow monkeys too. So that's a great question, and it's important to understand, like, because we are here to buy and sell things too, and right, and this might not be rough life related. It could be for other projects too, right? Like, for example, if you got these rainbow monkeys, right, you would be like, okay, well, what do I do now, right? Because they're ready to go. So this project, it looks like, it's a very small collection, right? So 333 NFTs is really tiny amount of NFTs, right? Sorry, I hear someone talking. Are you wanting to speak, or just go? Sorry. So yeah, this project here, right? First things I'm seeing is this small collection, right? So meaning that there's a very small amount, which could mean that with a big demand, right, the scarcity is very little, so that means the prices are going to go really high, right? This looks like one of these pop-up projects that I've been seeing all the time being popped up here, where, for example, there was a project I was watching. It was called like the Lion Cats, I think it was called. I think the Lion Cats, and also a small collection. I think they had like 700 NFTs, but they had this like small mint where it's just like a whitelist only mint, right? Where it's just to their exclusive little community, and then they just pump the crap out of it just through Twitter and just getting it out there. It's kind of crazy. Um, so what I would look for on here, and if I'm doing my due diligence, right, I go and look at their Twitter and see what they got here for like their hype behind the project, what's their following, check out, what their feeds are looking like, their engagements are looking like, see if there's anyone that, you know, I'm following, also following them, right? And see if, you know, I don't see anyone following them that I follow. With a project that's already released, I usually go straight to the marketplace and kind of look at what's happening on the marketplace side of things, right? What's going on here. You know, so I see a low price, seeing 34 SOL in volume, right? These are all important avenues because you want to, like, if you're going to get into a project, like, you know, potentially with this project here, we'd be looking to maybe buy one now and ride the hype wave and, you know, maybe 2x our money, right? Like that would be something, you know, I'm curious. I might potentially do that with this project. Who knows? But, you know, we want to see if we can make that decision, right? So how I'd look deeper into this is I go into activity, right? And I want to see what's happening on these current sales. What's going on here, right? So, and we can change this to 100, right? So we can see more of the activity. So we see a lot of sales happening for 0.4, 0.5, right? So 0.7, 0.8, right? So actually a lot higher. You know, these are a lot higher than where it's currently sitting. And we see in the last 2 hours, there's been no more sales. So honestly, with this project, what it's looked like is they did their initial launch. They pumped it a little bit, right? People were like, man, I didn't get in, FOMO'd in, and they FOMO'd in for like 0.5, 0.7 SOL, right? And then now things have just died off and there's not as like all the buyers are not there. There's no new buyers coming, right? And now it's just kind of paper handing down where it's like, oh crap, it's no one's buying at 0.4 SOL, so I better list it at 0.3 SOL and see what happens. Oh, no one's buying at 0.3 SOL, I better list it at 0.2 SOL, see if someone buys, right? And now that's where they're stuck at right now. That's sort of where they're at in the market, right? But now the next biggest thing I would look into is hopping into their Discord and feeling the vibe of the community, because the community could be just super dope and they got, you know, plans to do a bunch of Twitter raids and they're going out of their way to shill it and get it out there. Well, quite easily, quite frankly, like the project could literally go from nothing to a lot very quickly if they're making the right pieces, like moving the right chess pieces and they have the right connections, right? I'm already looking into this. Like there's only 100 people in the Discord. Like I feel like they just made this project like yesterday and decided we're launching. Like, you know, so that's where I feel it. So it's something that I would have to look even further and deeper into it, because I feel like right now, on my perspective, you know, they're kind of disorganized. We need some moderators. Things need to, you know, to be more, you know, organized. There's not much in here, right? Like, you know, people are able to just shill in here. So like for me, I'm not buying as an investor because, you know, I don't see as of right now where this project's going. It doesn't seem like there's a crazy direction with it. And that, you know, so personally for me, I'm like, yeah, no thanks to me. So like that's what I would look into, and then I would get on to the next project, right? And, you know, the projects that come to me these days are usually through the Discord communities, right? Where people are like, hey, I'm looking at this project, right? You know, and I see it pop up, right? Those are the projects I'm looking at a lot of time. And, you know, things that you want to look out for is you want to make sure that there's a good following and there's like legit followers too. Like you can actually go on like twitteraudit.com, stuff like that, to see like how many are fake, how many are real, right? Same thing in the Discord, right? You want to see the activity in the Discord, right? If there's, you know, let's go, for example, let's go to Botborgs, for example, because they're a pretty dope project. You know, I'd say a good example. I just gotta find them. Oh man, did I scroll past it again? Almost there. Almost there. Stop. There we go. Stop. Yeah, this is terrible. this is our plan with Rough Life, guys, is we want to see our Discord 6x like over the next 3 weeks. Like, yeah, so this project, guys, the Discord was literally at like 10,000 members literally about a week ago, maybe 9 days ago. It was at 10,000 people. Now it's at over 100,000. They just cracked 100,000 this morning. When I was on the Discord this morning at like 9 in the morning, that was when they cracked 100,000. So they even had another 17,000 people join literally in the last, just today, right? So you want to see growth, right? Like that's something I like to look at, is seeing, oh, things are actually growing, right? Are they implementing what they say they do? It, like, what are they doing for their community, right? Well, yeah, it's freaking popping, right? So, and you can look at this and match their activity, right? Because it's like, if this is 117,000 people, right? Like, how many are actually active right now, right? Like, what's going on, right? Well, there's a lot of messages going on, a lot of activity and so forth like that. So, that's always a good sign. The other thing too is like on your mobile device, I think it shows it better. It shows like how many is actually online versus like actually in the server, right? And that will kind of display too. It's like, well, if there's only a small amount of people online, but they have all these people, right? Something to look out for, right? And here's the thing too, guys, like any of these servers can buy fake followers. Like you can buy fake Discord followers where they're like active and online, right? So you can literally go out and buy 2,000 followers, for like $20 or something like that. Who knows what it costs? I don't know what it costs, but you could literally do that, and they would be like considered active people, but they're just like, a channel. It'd be like me being active all the time and making sure I join these Discords because someone gives me a couple pennies to do that, and I'm happy to do that, right? So there's like services like that. So always things to look out for, right? Is understanding that, maybe what you see on the outside or what you see and what people display might not necessarily be true, right? And that's where you got to have the faith in it from doing your diligence with the community, right? That's why when you get more involved, you'll feel the vibe and stuff like that. Unfortunately, still, a good example was that rug pull last week where it was, I forget what it was called, Big Daddy Ape Club, right? Where they built their Discord community. People felt amazing. People were rushing for the whitelist spot. And then like they never even mint it. No one even got art, right? It was just a scam link. And they took $1.2 million, right? So you can feel that. So other things to look out for, guys, is you want to go to their website, right? And on their website, you want to see how well done is it, right? Are there a bunch of spelling mistakes on there? Are they missing gaps? Is it just like a copy paste from other projects that you've seen, their roadmap, right? I would try to stay away from it. Is it a docs team, right? It's like, at least do they have some information about their team, right? Is the team involved? Are they communicative in the Discords and around? You see them around, right? Like those are pluses, right? If you don't really see that they're too involved, like what's their involvement in the community? What's their involvement inside of their project, right? Well, if they don't have belief in the project, I don't want to be in it too, right? Because it stems from the leaders in the community, right? Other things to look out for too is like, is their idea, is it innovating? Is it different? Is it something that's exciting? Is it something that's going to change this space, right? Well, Botborgs is pretty cool because they got, cool little games. They're planning to do different metaverses. They're working with different projects, right? People are saying like, we should see if Rough Life can, get a piece inside their metaverse as well, which, maybe we can have those conversations, stuff like that, right? So, it's a creative, innovative idea, and that's why they've literally grown over the last week so much, right? Because now everyone's talking about it and sharing it with their friends, and it's just blowing up, right? So things like that, those are really, important things to look out for. And back to Tammy there, sorry. How you list and sell your NFTs, super simple. you go to the website that they're selling on, there's many different marketplaces out there. So there's many different Solana marketplaces out there, but usually in their Discord, they'll talk about, hey, you know, we're on these marketplaces. Right now, Magic Eden is the #1 marketplace inside of Solana. Actually, you know, a few months ago, it was actually Solana Art, which was the #1, but, you know, Magic Eden seemed like to come and surpass them lately. But how you would do this is you just connect your wallet to the site. So you'd connect your wallet, type in your password, and then you would click on your profile there, and you'll be able to see the NFTs in your profile. And you just select the ones that you want to sell. You set the price you want, and away you go, right? And then the other way too is like you want to look at relative NFTs, so you're not like underlisting your price, right? You know, like maybe in this project, like a lot of sales are going in, right? So I wouldn't want to point at 0.2 because, you know, it's a floor price. Like maybe I want to put it at, you know, between here, 0.29, 0.26, right? So maybe 0.27 would be a good price because now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 NFTs need to be sold, and then yours is the next one, right? So, you know, you want to see how you can get the most money from it, right? Maybe you have a special trait, right? That's where you can go, and through the filters here, you have well, there's no filters on this project. So usually you have different attributes, right? For example, with our dogs, right? The golden skins are going to be worth more. The C3PO skins, right? There's only 30 of them, right? So because there's only 30 of those NFTs, right? The evaluation of the price, because it's much scarce, right, is valued higher, right? So then, you know, say our floor price is 2 Solana, right? You selling this for 2 Solana might not necessarily be the play because the C3PO price, the floor price is 10 Solana because you guys get to choose it, right? And maybe there's a few listed at 10, right? So then that's where you kind of play your room. Like, do you want to be the cheapest, or do you want to be like maybe 1 above, 2 above the cheapest, right? So that's kind of where you can value it, where you can just throw it in a random price and see if someone buys it, right? You know, like we've seen people spend, you know, I had in the Rough Life Rescues, in the Dazed Ducks, right? We had a guy that sold his NFT for 300 sold, right? 40 something grand for his NFT that he minted a week before, and he went ahead and sold it on the marketplace for 300 sold. Right? Anytime that's possible, right? I saw a Meerkat Millionaire, you know, that was another project I was in. One sold for $170,000. It was like 1,000 sold or whatever it was. It was like 170 grand it sold for at the time, right? You know, because it was ranked #1, right? So like, you know, sometimes you get lucky off the mint and you get a super rare one, and then the valuation's a little bit more than just a common one, right? So those are some things to look out for. You know, recap really quickly is you want to make sure that there's actually volume coming in. Like if you're planning to buy up a project that's like already being sold, you want to make sure there's volume coming in, right? That, you know, the activity is not in hours, it's in minutes, right? That you're seeing actual volume coming through. As well, you want to make sure that people are talking about it all over Twitter. You know, if you can see, like, for example, I'm gonna pronounce their name wrong, but like the Byaku Dragons, right? This project here, find it. Byaku, I can't spell shit, so. You're right.
I think your screen froze.
Okay.
Connection.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, so, you know, if you see different communities like, you know, the Thugbergs, like you know, like the Solana OG communities, right? And you see them start talking about these projects, right? Sometimes it's a good thing to get in. Like, for example, these dragons, right? They're making, you know, $200 a day from their NFT because they get like these passive rewards on their NFT, and they're making, you know, roughly like, yeah, I think it's from $200 to like $300 a day on their NFT. I could be wrong, don't quote me on it, But that's why, you know, to get into that project right now, it's 200 Solana just to get in on that project, right? They're not selling for cheap, right? But when you see these people start hopping into people's discords and they're like, we're coming in to buy, they come in herds, right? Where there's like 30 of them, and they're gonna, you know, they got money to spend. They're gonna go buy the whole floor, right? So they move the market, and that's like the insider trading within it, right? But when they start buying, you want to get in too and kind of ride that wave with them, right? And then they get out and they liquidate. They pump the price because, you know, once people start seeing that, it's like all the FOMO that kicks in. It's like, holy crap, I'm gonna miss out on the run. Right? I better get in before it's too late. And sometimes by the time you're thinking that, you're almost already too late. So at the end of the day, guys, you know, quick recap, like, you know, I think by the, you know, the first part was about the security, right? Understanding that that's super duper important, you know, setting yourself up properly. Number two is like, you know, do your research on Discord, on Twitter, check out their websites, you know, trust your own gut. If you ever need a second opinion, reach out, you know, to one of us, reach out to myself, reach out into our communities, because, you know, there's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, right? But at the end of the day, trust your biggest gut too. And before you get into a project, make sure you're accepting the risk to begin with, and that you're using money that you're willing to spend, right? Like, not all of them are going to be home runs, not all of them are going to be hits, and the less you can be attached to it, the better. Just like in trading, the second you put emotions into the market, you've already lost, right? Because the market's there to take your money. This market here is just as violent. It's more volatile too, and it's there to take your money, right? So don't base it off of emotions, but do it smartly. Sometimes you're gonna miss a mint. You're gonna miss, man, I could have bought it at 2 Solana. You check the price the next day and it's at 8 Solana. You're like, man, I could have bought it for 2. I was thinking about it. I just didn't push the button. I was just hesitated for a second, right? But don't beat yourself up about it, because there's always going to be more opportunities. There's more projects like botborgs coming out. Like, unfortunately with botborgs, nobody on the public mint is going to get one. You need to be whitelisted in order to get one, because they've already whitelisted 10,000 members and there's 10,000 mints. So it's not going to happen. Right? And then at the end of the day, even when they do go public, maybe there's 1,000 NFTs left, but there's 100,000 people fighting over 1,000 NFTs. What's your chances, right? Like, your chances are sometimes slim on these things, right? And like, those are a lot of the mints that I've been getting into. Like, I was trying to get into suites. There was 2,000 available, but there was 20,000 people trying to go for those 2,000 mints, right? You sometimes just got to play your odds. And if you get one, that's where you can make the big bucks. But sometimes you can't. And sometimes you just got to snipe on the secondary market. Sometimes you just got to sit out and miss out on it. And that's okay, because there's going to be more opportunities that show up, right? But the more you just plug in, the more you keep showing up, the more you ask questions, the more that you're willing to learn, the better. And that's what's going to reward you in the long run, because no matter the experience and what you're doing here now, will help you get you to the next places further and lead to more opportunity, right? So I'm excited for everybody. I'm excited for all of you guys who, you know, decide, you know what, I want to learn this more. My goal personally, it's just my own personal thing. Of course, we're doing a lot of things with Rough Life and other things. But my goal personally is to have some sort of system, some sort of maybe like a little course. I might create like what I'm thinking is, and I'm open to ideas, is I'm thinking of creating like a little bit of a premium group, but it'd be like $7 a month, something that anybody can afford, you know, $7 a month. And I'd give them a free course to go with it. It will be like a whole boot camp for, you know, going over this topic, but like in simplistic form, where it's not like, man, we've been on for an hour and we got like 3 nuggets that could have been broken down in 15 minutes kind of thing, right? And have it so simplistic for the person that doesn't know anything about NFTs to understanding it, to making decisions and getting going with it, and creating something like that. And then inside the group, we can have those conversations, we can share the drops, we can share all the other things, and make it a reality. So I think my my thing disappeared. I have people calling me. I love this. Hey, dude.
Hey, did you get it?
I think I got the message because I also have another guy calling me too.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you weren't just going off forever, and I was like, shoot, man, let me call him, send him all the messages I can, but
Yeah, you definitely I love seeing this. So cheers for reaching out, bro. Hope you're well. Let's catch up this week, bro. We deserve a FaceTime.
hey, I agree, brother. Yeah, I got a lot to talk to you about, that's for sure.
Yeah, I caught up with Romero yesterday, so I'd like to catch up with you, dude. It's like been too long. So.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy.
All right. Well, I hope it's not the bad crazy, but good crazy.
It's been I'll let you know about it, brother. Hey, they're on there. I think they're on here talking. Are you able to talk to them yet?
No, I gotta fix that now because I've been talking to you, so I better go and fix this.
Okay.
All right, talk to you
I'll
later.
let you go. The guys I tried calling them on Instagram. I tried calling them here. They're like, everybody's freaking.
Yo, can anyone hear me now? No, computer's kaput. I'll just stop the stream.